Hey everyone, I'm Barbie and I'm here to shoot with African Melanin on how I achieve my soft everyday glam, so keep on watching. So I will be using the most basic products so that I can be able to walk you guys through just everything that I do for a normal soft glam if you're going for work or school or just any basic thing that you do in a day. The one thing that I really do prioritize when it comes to the face is the eyebrows. I feel like if you're going for a soft glam, your eyebrows have to be your main focus. The basics on the eyebrow is just use your toothbrush or your spoolie and then just brush the hairs upwards and outwards like so. And then I will be using a brown brush. And then I just brush the product all around through the eyebrow, spread product out everywhere so everything looks so even and natural. Okay, so now it's time to conceal the eyebrow, and I use my LA Pro Girl conceal. This is in Fawn. Yes, in the shade Fawn. And I really recommend you to use a shade that is twice as light than your actual shade, just because it really makes the eyebrow pop and it just does the thing. He never answers me. So you just want to shape the eyebrow in the way that you want it. Some people like them thinner and longer, and some people like them thicker, so it's just all about what you like. But whatever you do and however way you like it, make sure it's popping, girl. Memories of us keep killing me slowly. You don't really care, don't want you to hold me. And also make sure you use a really flat brush. It really helps. If it's not flat enough, it's going to be cumbersome for you to achieve that stash brow, you know what I mean? And for the top, I normally use a darker one, still LA Pro Girl Conceal, just because this is one that you can get literally everywhere, and it's quite affordable from all the stores that, you know, I've checked. So yeah, I use a really dark one just so that it's easy for me to blend in with my skin tone, my foundation. I like my eyebrows a bit thicker and fuller, but shaped.
I'm sorry girl, you just don't make me feel right. I never meant to make you cry, you were right. Just leave me be.
So next you blend with your beauty blender. And just make sure it's dumb, just so that everything spreads out perfectly and sits well on the face. It's much better to do it with a dumb beauty blender.
If everything was good, then you would feel alive. If everything was good, then you would feel alive. Everything was good, then you would feel alive.
Okay, so our eyebrows are popping. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just add some pop of pink on my eyelid, and I'm going to use the Morphe James Charles palette. I'm just gonna add this pop of pink right here. I just want to add just like a little bit. I'm using a big fluffy brush just so that it can buff out all the product and I don't have to blend everything else really, just to make it pop. Then I'm going to add this eyeliner on my waterline just because it brightens up the eye and just makes it open. So because I already moisturized my face after my shower, I don't need to apply any primer. But if you haven't, you have to make sure you apply primer because it's a very important thing to do. But I'm just gonna go right in with my foundation, and I'm using this Fit Me 235, and I really just put out like two little dots because it spreads and it goes a long way, and it saves foundation because, honey, we do not want to spend money every time on foundation.
Everything was good, then you would feel alive.
I don't apply foundation on my forehead because there's already product from the concealer that I added, and so I don't want to look too done. So I keep my foundation around this area and it blends out perfectly. The forehead still looks like it has a lot of product going on, so I really don't mind. Then I'm going to use the same concealers that I use to highlight and contour. I normally start with my under eye just because I like a really bright under eye. It just awakens the face and it makes you look so effortless, and if you have baggy eyes, this really helps.
Right. Just leave me be, I'm not gonna put up a fight.
Then I'm just going to add it on the rest of my face, highlight this area, all the areas that I just want to highlight. Remember, we're just keeping it light, so we don't want to put a lot of product. And when it comes to contouring and highlighting the face, you have to master your face because everybody's face is different. And so how I do my contouring and highlight may be different from yours because of the bone structure and everything. I really like a chiseled look, so I make sure my highlight comes from the top of my ear towards the mid of my lips all the way. And then this area is where I have my contour because it just... The nose is the one thing that I really like to contour because I have a very big nose and sometimes I just like it to look snatched. So the narrower the bridge, the longer your nose looks and the smaller it looks. So the distance between where you apply the contour on the left and the right should be smaller. If you're really small, this distance here should be smaller. Okay, so now I just blend everything out in place just around where I have applied the product, just to make it sink in. The last place that I blend is the nose because I like it to set just so that it can really appear done. So to keep my product in, I go in with my powder. This one is by MAC NC55, and I just push in the product everywhere. And then I set with both of my setting powders. This one is by Sasha, banana powder, and this is Buttercup. And I use my Ben Nye banana powder as well. I start with this one just because it's a little bit brighter, and I use it for the under eye because, like I said, I really like a bright under eye because it just awakens the face. I don't let it sit for long, so I just put a little bit of product just under the eye and I buff it in without leaving it to set for a long time. My Sacha banana powder is the one that I use to bake. It keeps the product intact, and if you're going to wear the makeup the whole day, you really want it to sit and stay longer, so that is why we bake. People ask most of the times, like, why is it important to bake when you can just set everything in and you're good to go? But baking really does help make the whole face last longer with the makeup. And while that's baking, I go in with my NYX Pro Highlight and Contour Palette, and I just use this shade right here to contour. Same brush I use to bronze. I'm using my MAC NC58. This is just a powder. It's smooth brown, bronzy tone, like almost an orange shade, and that's what I like to use to bronze my face. So I just smile a little bit and buff everything out. Now because I like a brow highlight and I think that it just pops, I'm going to use this Miss Rose Professional Makeup Highlighter, and I'm using this shade Bronzed just because we're melanin and we bronze. So I'm using this brush and I just want to add a little bit on my brow bone just because we're popping. We African melanin. Hello. So at this point I brush out the setting powder because it's been sitting on here for like a few minutes, and I just use a soft brush to do that. And then I'm going to add some blush. I like a mixture of pink and red and orange tones just because extra. So I'm going to use, I use my eyeshadow palette to do that, and I'm going to mix these two. And we're going to just buff it out with this brush that I use. I don't want to put too much just because it's soft glam and we don't want people to know that we have some blush going on, but we want them to think we might. So what I do next is just do the lips, and because I have kind of fuller lips, I still like to make them bigger because I like my lips plump, because kiss honey. And so I just line them around. You can use black or brown or the actual shade of the liner you're using. You just have to make sure you blend everything out. It's all about blending. When it comes to makeup, honestly, it's all about blending, and you can do whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to use two lip glosses. This is by NYX and this is the Butter Gloss, and I'm using this Lady King Ultra Lip Cream, which I am an ambassador for. So if you guys want to get this, make sure you hit me up. If you follow me on Instagram at MUA_Barbie, and you can get more details and get yourself a discount code for these lippies. They come in a set of 10, and honey, if you just want to know more, just follow me. So I'm going to start with this one just because it's a little bit darker, and then this one is more pink just because nude and whatever. Memories of us keep killing me slowly. You don't really care, don't want you to hold me. If everything was good, then you would feel alive. I'm going to go back with my bronzed highlighter, and I just want to add a little bit. You don't want to put so much highlighter when you're having a nude look, so I just want to go just a little bit just because then you would feel alive. Well, this is the finished product, you guys. This is an everyday soft glam for literally anybody. It's all about the highlight and contour, not really about the eyeshadow. Brows before brows, okay? Cause who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me? So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe to the African Melanin channel, follow them on Instagram at African Melanin, and if you like what I just did, make sure you follow me on Instagram at MUA_Barbie_. We're gonna leave all the descriptions in the description box. So from me and African Melanin,
me and I, if everything was